about September last year, we opened the doors to this clinic, and now we're busy rolling out to the rest of Australia to get some additional psychologists trained up and using our VR stuff and treating phobias across Australia. And so we're essentially really gradually exposing people to their worst fears. So there is a little bit of apprehension, not so much of the VR itself, but because of what they're expecting to be experiencing. What we do find though is as soon as people go into those experiences, a lot of that apprehension leaves. So I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, so I grew up on movies like Lawnmower Man, just really piqued my interest in VR. VR's kind of had 2 or 3 big false starts over the last 2 decades. So, I mean, you can look at magazines in the early 90s coming out saying this is the decade of VR. And everyone gets really excited about VR, and then each time it just fizzles out because the technology is not really there.
The earliest form of VR was developed in 1957, but it's not until the last few years that it's become a tool for a variety of industries.
And over my left shoulder, an orange figure.
We recommend that you leave your seatbelt fastened while seated. In the case of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop from overhead.
So a phobia, we're looking at a marked and persistent fear coming out in a situationally bound circumstance. So that means that the anxiety response is elicited in only a discrete number of predictable situations. Left untreated, we can see a phobia become quite impairing. There are people that are having to relocate because they've seen a single cockroach in their house. They've moved several times. They've turned down jobs because this great promotion opportunity is on a higher floor. It's a really significant life impact.
All of our programs are 5 sessions, so the first 3 sessions are all just face-to-face therapy, and then the last 1 to 2 sessions they're either both VR or it's 1 VR session and then 1 real life session if we can do it. A lot of them tend to be really impressed with how lifelike it is and how, even though they know it's not real, it still brings all those feelings associated with the real scenario, which is what we want. That's the aim of the exposure therapy.
We went down to the University of Wollongong to chat with Ken Kenchevsky about the value of VR development today.
I started Devico, which is pretty much dedicated to that digital transformation for companies and being at the forefront of technology and problem solving. Now that the technology is just moving really quickly, you can really see the quality of it improving, and that's what's making it consumer ready. And the minute it's consumer ready, you'll see people starting to build apps for it right away. And when you put it on, you can actually start to immerse yourself in experiences. So slowly building up objects that look like a spider to the last thing being an actual spider.
Virtual reality has made some really significant improvements to the lives of people living with phobias. But what does the future look like when there's new technology popping up all the time?
I think we're going to see a lot more augmented reality.
Augmented reality is similar to virtual reality. With AR, objects are superimposed into the environment you're in, making it seem even more real.
Augmented reality is a few years behind where VR is at the moment, but I think it has just so much more application in terms of changing the world that you're already in, rather than putting yourself in someone else's body and in another place.
Like, you've got the people that actually suffer, that can put the headset on, and then people that don't suffer but need to be more aware of how to interact with people that might suffer from something. They're taking the headset off and looking at the world a little bit differently because of the experience that we've built. Yeah.